Making a gearbox is hard. These are just the ones that actually worked. Most of them ended up in the bin. What we did is we bought a 1/10 scale Maestro F1 car on eBay for 20 quid. And I wanted to upgrade that car and make it as fast as possible. And I used the original stock drivetrain to begin with, and then quickly realized that, yes, plastic gears ain't gonna cut it. But let me take you through where we are at the moment. Back a few weeks ago, eBay, £20. I got this entire car and a rear spoiler. That's just off in the bin somewhere. For £20. It said the steering didn't work. That actually was a lie. It was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with the car as far as I could see. And we got it up and running, as you can see here. The only problem I could find with it was that it was incredibly slow. Its top speed was 11 miles an hour, which was painful for a Formula 1 car. So what I did is I upgraded the electronics on the inside. As you can see here, we've got an 8.4 volt nickel metal hydride, hobby grade ESC, gyro, and 2.4 gigahertz system. All of that then ran into the original 370 size motor at the back, and that got our top speed all the way up to the glorying heights of 14 miles an hour, which, let's be honest, was noticeably faster. It was a much more fun experience at that speed, even though it was only about 30% faster. But I still want more. There's not enough speed for a Formula 1 car at 14 miles an hour. So, what this meant is this meant out with the old motor, and we had to move up to something bigger. We needed something like this. A big hobby grade motor that was really gonna send this car to the moon. So, what that meant was a new gearbox, because the old gearbox was not going to fit that big a motor inside it. So let me take you through how you design a gearbox, or how you don't design a gearbox for a remote control car. Right, here we are. So we began here with the original. This is the stock differential holding gearbox here. This is the original diff. This is the original pinion, which goes in there, and this is the original motor, which is buggered off over here. So that's how it was set up originally over here. 8-tooth pinion, 32-tooth spur gear, huge down gearing, and then across a 10 to 30 on the differential. I really like this differential because it's got its teeth on the back side pointing outwards. It means you can go pinion, spur, compound gear here into that differential in 3 gears, rather than having and keeping the motor and the differential on the center line. I think it's a really smart idea. I really like it. I'm going to build my own, but just out of metal in the future. So get subscribed if you're interested to see that. The problem here is everything's plastic. The original came with just, as technically as a metal pinion and a steel rod through the middle of the spur gear, but the steel rod rubbed on the spur and it just wore it away, and then it started wobbling around, and then it started skipping teeth. Same happened for the diff. It didn't have bearings in it, and these plastic shaft drivers were just rubbing on plastic, and again they just wore a slightly bigger hole, and then they started wobbling around more and more and more. It was never going to work. So it got it going, but there was never going to be a long service life on those parts. So very quickly I decided I need to make my own gearbox, so I can put bearings inside things and bushings and make things a little bit better. Enter V2. This is the V2 over here. I wanted to go from a 370 size all the way up to a big 540 size, a 36mm diameter, 55mm long, hobby grade motor, which is a little bit more powerful, as you might imagine. And that meant upgrading the kind of motor area for the gearbox as well. So to the 3D printer I went into Fusion, and we designed this gearbox. It's going to use these original gears, like this, but with a bigger motor. So the big motor sits in here like this. Sorry, it's got the wrong pinion on it just at the moment. I'm testing other things. But there was a 14-tooth pinion in there, and it ran onto the original spur, the original diff, and everything ran quite well. But testing this new chassis led to the realization that this differential just is not up to the job. As you're all screaming at the screen saying, yes, 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 plastic toy grade parts aren't going to be up to the job. But I thought we might be able to get a little bit of runtime, 10 minutes out of it before it all just melted, but couldn't even get down the road. It just kept skipping gears, and that's because all of the parts are just so highly strung when they've got this extra power going through them that the parts I'd fixed with these bearings that I put in suddenly it was parts inside the diff that then were like, okay, well, see you later then if I'm having the force. So now the whole diff just doesn't sit right anymore. It wobbles around horribly, nothing is correct, and that just, all that wobble means that the teeth can just skip whenever they want to. So I came to the realization a long time ago that I needed metal gears if we're going to get up to something crazy like 80 miles an hour with this. But I didn't think we'd have to get there so soon. But I just tried and I couldn't get this to work how I wanted it to. So I made the decision. Out with the old, in with the new gearbox. Let's go for a full metal differential drivetrain. So we get rid of the original. We're not using that crap anymore. And this is where we are now. It's lovely and compact. It doesn't have its the wheel supports on it yet. They are already designed. Obviously, I put them over here. I'm just going to add those back to this when I'm ready. This is what this motor is designed for at the moment. As you can see, we come off the pinion onto this compound gear over here, and then we come back into the middle. This gear is connected to the diff pinion, which you'll notice is metal. We have bought, I know, for £8 whole. Thank you, Lord Amazon. An entire differential for this car. And this is a central mounted differential, so it's obviously looking inwards as opposed to the outside one, which means we needed to come back to the middle before we could come in. As you can see, everything spins around quite nicely. Everything in here is on a bearing, no bushings. There's little 5mm bearings in here, there's 11mm bearings in here. Everything is bearinged, everything is supported, everything is much more sturdy than it was before, and I think this is a goer. What we're going to do is, these are just temporary PET G gears at the moment. We're going to reprint those in nylon, and then we're going to send steel rods through the nylon gears to reinforce that nylon, to really help that layer adhesion stay together. Then we're going to obviously put on the drive shafts, put the dog bones out to the wheels, and this should let us finally see what this motor can do with this differential in this car. And we should be able to get some crazy top speeds. And then suddenly we'll realise that the handling is crap, and we'll fix that from then on. So do stay tuned, get subscribed. We're going to see how fast this car can go on proper power. And then after we finish with that motor, don't you worry, we are going to join the 21st century. We are going to put a brushless motor in this as well. This is designed to just fit in. This is just a drop-in fit. The brushless motor is just a drop-in fit. It'll just go straight in. We'll be absolutely fine. But we're going to do the brushed and then the brushless, and we can see what the speed difference is between these two and see if this is all that's cracked up.